bring some of these bigger trees forward. All I'm doing is just got black paint on the filbert brush there. I'm just going right across my bushes. Now if there's a lot of paint that you have to go through, you might want to just scrape out a little bit of that with the knife, and in the spot where you're gonna bring down the paint, the filbert to make the tree. So, but I didn't do that here. I just kept working it in. I wasn't that worried about it because I put enough color up there, and if it got a little green, I just keep working over it until the green went away. I mean, the black will eat up that yellow. But and by the time you get the highlights on and everything, it's not a real big factor here. But sometimes you get a lot of built up. So we brought some of the trees forward, and as you can see, it helped push back the painting a little bit more. Now we can start to see more depth in it. And it looks a little more natural now that there's trees are a little closer. Just something to think about when you're painting. It's something like this, scene like this. Just make sure all the trees are not, just sticking back there, looking like a comb. I think you get in a habit of doing things like that when you start out in art and you don't have the ability to do these kind of effects when you're painting, like just messing around with the acrylics or watercolors, and it just kind of looks like a cartoon artwork or something. That's something you always want to keep in mind when you're painting landscapes, is making layers and creating depth, and working in layers, and getting creative with those. So I'm just adding the highlights to that, of course. I have not yet added the blue lighting, the shadow reflected light on the bark of these trees yet. Okay, I think that's what I'm going to be working on now. I almost had a hair there. Grabbing some blue, I think. And I'm scooping up some of that color. I'll use that. That'll do some more white. It's pretty much grabbing whatever I got. That needs to be a little more blue yet. So this is all experimentation. I kind of go slow at this because I don't want to rush up and mix up a big bunch of stuff I'm not going to use. So I just add a little bit at a time, keep working on it, and eventually, get the color I want. And the more often you paint, I imagine the less time it'll take for you to get these. Maybe you're already faster than me at doing that, but anyway, starting to put those on now. I decided it was too bright and have enough blue, so grabbing some more color, a little more, grabbing a little of the black. We're about at the halfway point. Are you still with me? doing the same thing that I did when I put in the highlights. To me, this is probably one of the easier ways to still be effective. It's just tapping along, and when you're doing these, you really want to take your time because you don't want to do anything too fast. And oh, mess up. No, I meant to hit the edge of the tree, but I ended up hitting the sky instead, hitting the background. I've done that a few times. Then you got to try to cover them up or try to get rid of it. It's not always easy to do. You can see how that's starting to give it a little more definition, a little more shape, having that in there. And I usually end up running out of my highlight color because I only grab so much paint. I know that Bob always had a ton of paint on his palette. He always had these big, huge piles. Well, when you're only doing one painting, you don't need that much. But if I know I heard him once say that you can take a palette and cover it like with wax paper and keep it stored in a freezer, and you can freeze the paints and they'll still be good when you thaw them and you take it out of there. I've never tried it myself. I don't have a freezer that I can put them in. So I've never tried that, but that might be something you want to try. I guess if you do try it, don't use a really good palette. Use like a paper palette or something cheap. So just in case you're to have problems, you don't want to ruin your good palette and have to chisel all that off there. I don't know, in case it hardens or dries up and doesn't work. That's just something I know I've heard him say about, so something to think about. Alright, I'll go on to the next one.
Okay. Fix that.